party people. Hello, it is Randy for Thunder Horse Ascendant. I'm here today to finish up our last project for the Bargain Bead Box. So, we used those already. And we used all those. Okay. So, we are going to be using today the rest of the crystals we have left over, and the rest of the Amazonites that we have left over. We are going to be using, let me zoom in a little. We are going to be using these little connectors, and we're going to make a multi-strand necklace today. We're also going to be using a little smidge chain, and possibly make it a pair of earrings. We'll see how much beads we have left at the end. Okay. Now, I am going to be using, let's get these out here and see what we're working with. All right. So I am going to be using these ends that I had from the first knotting project that we did, because we are going to do a little bit of knotting today. So these were left over from the very first project that we did. So these already have little glued needles on there. Now if you have some Ceylon and you don't have your needles glued, all you do is you take a little bit of super glue, you put it in your bag, and you just run these through a couple of times and you let them dry so it kind of stiffens up. Easy peasy. Okay, so that's what we're going to be using. Mr. Bunsen is here with me, sitting on the chair next to me, waiting to give his approvals. I'm meowing the whole time. Now I do have a few of these beads left. I didn't know how many of these we would have left after we did our bracelet project that we just got done doing. So I will put these out here. I don't know if I'm going to use them, but if we need them, they're here. Okey-doke. And we're going to start off with these two. So the idea is we will do one strand, and then we will do a little smidge of chain, and then a smaller strand on top. So I'm going to start with one of these. I'm in debate if I need any metal. I might need a little bit of metal. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I don't. Maybe we'll just be metalists today. All right. So I'm gonna start on the bottom here, and I'm just no, Bunsen, get down, get down, down. And I'm just gonna start out by tying my first knot. I'm in debate here. I'm in debate if I want to just tie these on or if I want to use jump rings. I think I'll just tie it on. So I'm going to start with that, going through twice. Is that what I want? Is this what I want? No, it's not what I want. I'm going to use a jump ring just in case, because I don't want that to move around on there and then create a problem for us later. So let me get some red bronze jump rings out, and we'll see where we're at with that. I do want to use some oval ones. So I'm just going to start with this little jump ring. And I'm going to bring him down here. And I'm going to start with that. So I'm just going to go through here once. And I'm going to go through again. And just tie myself a little knot. And then we're going to do it again. One, two, and okay. So that is that. And then I am going to hit that with a little glue at the end, but as of right now, I'm not going to worry about it. And I think we will start off with one of these guys. So I'm just going to put that on. And I don't know if I can get this guy in there. If I can, that'd be great. Maybe if he had a little bit of glue. Where's that glue at? I'm just going to put a little smidge of glue on here so that I can have a little bit of a needle to kind of bring that through. Since I'm here, I will go ahead and put a little glue on this knot that I made. All right. Okay, while we're waiting for all that to dry, I think I might take a look at my pattern. So I think what I want to do is I kind of want to just do all of these. I mean, I don't know that we'll use all of these, but I think I just want to use these in one strand, how much ever I'm going to use. And then the middle strand will be a little spot of chain. And then the top strand, you know, I don't know if I'm going to use those. The top strand I think will just be crystals. That'll be cute. So there we go. I could take the chain out and use these guys, I guess, if I wanted to. But I don't think that I want to. I like the chain idea. Alright, let's see where we're at with this. So I'm going to give this a little bit of a trim to make it pointy. And I'm going to bring this bead over here. And I'm going to put him up inside of there. So there we go. So now I don't have to worry about my tail, right? So that works out pretty good. And then I am going to see if I can't get him to go around there. So I'm going around 2 times, like that. Make sure it's all correct, yeah. I'm going to get my tweezer out. I'm going to go in through the loop right above the bead and grab hold with my tweezer. Now I'm going to act like these two are one strand, and I'm going to pull them if I can. I don't know if I can. This one for sure I know I can pull. And just get them down there tight. And I'm going to pull this out. And then I'm going to push this knot into place. There we go. So now I can go ahead and I can snip this guy off. I'm going to cut him pretty close. There we go. And we are on our way to put on our next bead. So I'll put on my next bead. Okay. Let me get this out of your way so you can see a little better. And so what we're doing here is we're just doing the knotting technique. If you've been around this channel, you've seen it, but I'm just going to give you a little walkthrough. So we're going to go round and through one time. Then we're going to go round again. So we have two. We're going to bring our tweezer. We're going to go through the loop. Okay, so through the loop. And we're going to grab a hold right above the bead. It is important to know that wherever you grab a hold with your tweezer, that's where your knot is going to be. Okay, so this loop should be hanging on the tweezer, not over here, on the tweezer. So we're going to pull it down. Okay, get it down there. You can push it down with your thumbnail. You're going to pull your tweezer out of there. Now I put it down. Okay, that's one of the things that I do because gravity, and I don't want to end up with too much length in between. So now I'm going to kind of hold with not a lot of pressure, but a little bit of pressure. And I'm going to grab a hold of it and I'm going to pull this tail straight up, and I'm going to push this down with my tweezer towards the bead at the same time. Okay, now you can push your bead out a little bit to kind of lock that knot into place. And that is how we are doing the knotting. Okay, so we're going to keep going. I'm going to go a little faster now that you've seen it. I'm going to go around one, go around two. Come in with your tweezer through the loop, grab hold on top of the bead, pull this down into place, let go of it, push and pull at the same time, lock your knot into place. That's what we got going on. So as I'm looking at these beads, I'm just kind of looking. I kind of want to, you know, not put a whole bunch of the same kind of color in one spot. So I'm going to put more of like this gray one. 1, 2. Okay. Once you get going, it's really super easy to just kind of be in a rhythm. It's actually kind of fun. Okay. Okay, so this one got a little bit of extra space. I don't know what happened, but something happened. So don't panic. Remember not to panic. We're just gonna go around again, just once, and you're gonna pull this knot down underneath the knot that you already have, and you're just gonna pull it tight. That is going to take care of any slack. Okay? And don't worry, nobody's gonna know that that extra knot is there but you. And if it bothers you too much, you can always, a couple of things you could do. You could always put a bead cover over the top of it, or, you know, whatever you want to do, but for the most part, it's not going to be a problem. I'm going to do 3 on this one, just to show you it's not a problem. And how 3 is giving you more bigger knots. Hello, Mr. Bunsen. You guys. He says, it is time for food. And I'm like, no, sir. You have like 3 hours left. Okay, so we're going on a pretty good little track here. So I am going to throw this into fast forward. I'm going to do the other half. We have about half the beads left. So I'm going to do the other half real quick. And I'll be right back. Alright guys, here we are at the very last bead. So I just wanted to show you how I plan to attach this last bead. Let me zoom in a little. Okay, so with this one we were able to get the tail back in through the bead. With this one, we're going to put him on there. Get ourselves a jump ring. Oh, hello, Mr. Bunsen. And I'm going to tie this jump ring on just like I normally would when I'm doing the knotting. Just pretend it's not on there. And I bring it down. And I am gonna leave a little bit of space, not too terribly much, but enough. a little bit of space like this. Okay, couple millimeters, nothing crazy. And the reason for that is I am going to then take this same string and I'm going to go back through this bead. Just hold on to that jump ring. And I should be able to get, if I've left enough space, I should be able to get right through there like that. Okay, so we're going to bring that back down like so, and then I'm going to tie over the top of this knot here. So any extra slack or anything you may feel like you are having, you should be able to tie here. So I'm going to do what they call a half hitch knot. So I'm going to put it like this with the jump ring over here. I'm going to take this string, I'm going to go around. Okay, so it creates a loop basically, and I'm going to go up through that loop, and I am going to turn this then to the top, and I'm going to just make sure that this knot is going to land in between where I want it to land. Okay, and then I'm going to do it again. So I'm creating a loop, going up through the loop, and then just making sure that it lands where I want it to. Okay, so there is our knot. Now you could do it twice if you want, you can do it once if you want, whatever you want to do, it's up to you. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to hit this with a little bit of glue. Okay. And I am going to let it dry before I go in to cut it off. Okay. So there is our first part of the necklace. And this part is going to go on here, the last one. So this side is dry, so I can go ahead and mess around with this side. So I'm just going to open this jump ring, and I'm just going to put this onto the farthest side. Close her back up. Okay. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to cut it kind of close. Now with these, I do come in with my thread burner, and let's let this warm up a little bit. It's smoking. I'll just give that a little bit of a hit. Okay, so I made this one kind of long because my first knot landed kind of in front of the knot that was already there. So what I'll probably do with that, which doesn't always happen, but it did. So if you had like a longer knot like I have and you weren't very happy with it, I think what I might do is I'll hang you can hang a little charm on there. You can try to push it down if it'll squish. If not, you can put a bead cover over the top. Like, there's a lot of options, so I'm not terribly worried about that. So I'm going to open this, put this one on here. All right, so this is our first strand in our multi-strand necklace. So now I have the chain part. Let me measure this and see what we're working with here. So looks like just about 8 inches. So I'm gonna make the chain part, I'm gonna go 6.5 inches, 6.5, 7. Maybe right in the middle. 6 3/4, why not? Give her a little snip. We need a couple of jump rings here. Okay, and then put this into the second part of this finding. Oh, I can't see. Can't see! There we go. I'm gonna lay this out. Now, I am going to make sure this curb chain is laying flat so that when I attach it on, it's not all twisted up. Okay, so I have that on the chain and put that into the second one over here. Okay. Yeah, 6 3/4 was looking like a pretty good decision. I mean, it's a little bit, it's not touching, so we don't want it to be touching the layer below. But it's also not like super spaced out because I'm not really big on that. So now for this next one, I'll probably make this next knotted portion 5 3/4. So this one is 8. This one we went 6 3/4. So this one, maybe we have to do 4 3/4. 4 3/4. Okay. So we will try that. So then when it's hanging like this, it doesn't touch. So we're going to start that next knotted part with these beads here. And the second little piece of thread that I have. Okay. So I'll show you again how I started it. Let me get all my loops out of here. So I'm going to need a jump ring. I'll put that jump ring on and bring it down. Okay, go around once, go around twice. I am leaving a little bit of tail here because remember I'm going to run this back through my bead. Okay, once you got your jump ring on, you're going to go again. 1, 2, pull it through. Yeah, got a little bit of a tangly mess here. Get that all straightened out. Pull this down. Kind of looks like a little mini braid, like so. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and put our glue on this small tail part to give it a needle, just like we did on the last one, just a little bit. Okay, we'll wait for that part to dry, and then also I gotta hit this with a little bit of glue. Okay, let that dry a little hot second. Let's see. I want to use all these colors. Okay, we're only doing 4 3/4 inches, so that probably is enough. Well, it might even be more than enough. So now this is dry. We're going to give it a trim, a sharp little point. We're going to put on our first bead. Ooh, that one's still a little bit wet, which is the clear. Bring that down. Okay, then we're going to take this into the bead as well. And we're going to shore it up and make sure that it's where it's supposed to be. Now all we're doing right here is we are going to tie a knot like we have been tying knots. The only thing that makes it a little bit weird is that we have this really short tail, so sometimes that doesn't go all the way around, but that's fine because you just put your longer one through and then you go back and you put your short one through, right? Okay, we got to do it twice. So we wrap him around twice and he's in there. And that's all we need to do. So we're going to come in through the loop just as we normally would and grab a hold on top of this bead. Push this down. Kind of got to do a little maneuvering with this situation because you have one strand that moves and one strand that doesn't. So you got to kind of make sure you're where you need to be. Take this out and then we're going to push it down into place. And then once we have that, you can kind of make it smaller with maneuvering and wiggling it around here. Okay, once we got it where we want it, we're going to go ahead and cut this one off. I'm going to cut it pretty close. And that's what it looks like. Okay, so then we're going to add our next bead. Now we can just do like normal scheduled programming here. Now with these crystals, I will say that these crystals have a little bigger hole. So we're going to go around one. We're going to go through 1, 2, 3. And we're going to look at that and we're going to see if that's going to do the job. Now before on these stones we were only doing 2. But because these holes are bigger, we might have to do 3. Yes, it's looking like 3 is the answer. Okay, so again, it's the same steps. We're just going around 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Through the loop, grab a hold on top of the bead, pull it straight up, push this all down where you want it to be, take this out, and pull and push at the same time. Lock it in. It's the same steps. Okay, so I'm going to do up 4 3/4 inches of this. I will be right back. All right, guys, here we are back up at the top. I'm getting ready to put on my last bead, so I thought I'd show you again. I put on my last bead. I'm gonna get my jump ring. I'm going to tie my jump ring. I'm going to pretend like this jump ring isn't even on there. I'm going to go 1, 2, and I'm just going to pull this down, and I am going to leave a little bit of space, nothing crazy. Who is scratching under my desk? We're in the trenches, Winter. Knock it off. Winter doesn't care about the trenches, I guess. Okay, so once I have my little couple millimeters of space, I'm gonna go ahead and go back through this bead. Alright, and I'm gonna just kind of tighten that up. And then we're gonna do the half hitch knot around this bead here. Okay, so create a loop. Oop. Get over there, you. And gonna hit that with a little bit of glue. Whoa, that was too much glue. Too much glue. And we're gonna wait for that to dry. So I was able to do, I did this kind of color pattern. I don't know if you can see very well. I did a clear, white, peach, an amber color, a two-toned, and then I went back into the clear, white, peach, amber, two-toned, clear, white, peach, two-toned, amber, two-toned, clear. So I was able to actually end on that same pattern, which was pretty nice. Unexpectedly, an unexpected surprise. But basically was able to get like 3 of those little patterns using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beads before my pattern started over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I just put this one at the end where the pattern would start over again. All right, so now I should be able to trim this off. Winter is just having herself a day, let me tell you what. Come in here with my thread zapper. Now, if you did not want to do the thread zapper, you do not have to. This is a personal preference. Wait till that little bad boy starts smoking. There's this like little piece of stuff here that I don't care for. All right. Okay. So now I'm going to take this guy and we are going to attach them on over here on the top. Let me put the safety back on the zapper so I don't cause fire. You know how I like fire. Put this back on here. All right. So now I'm just going to take and attach these on by opening the jump ring to put it on the top. Looking pretty good so far. Hey! So this is my focal piece. We love that for me. Now we're not done. We're gonna go ahead and we are gonna put on this little piece of chain. Now, I'm gonna measure this little piece of chain to see where we're at with this stuff. Okay. So this says just about 7 inches, which means It's like 3.5. Okay. So this whole piece of chain is 14.5. This is what I have left. 14.5. 14.5 plus 3, 15, 16, 17, be about 18. That's perfect. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put on this whole bit, and by the time, I'm gonna cut this in half, and by the time I get this on with some jump rings and I put on my toggle, we should be at least 18 inches. So I'm gonna cut this one here. To give us 2 equal halves. Up like that. Now the question becomes, I think I'll use some of these smashing vintage ones. To attach onto the chain down here. So there's one. And we need one more right here. Perfect. Oop. There we go. Guys, get on there the way you're supposed to be. Okay, all we have to do now is put on our toggle clasp up here at the top. And we are good to go. They did provide us these toggle clasps in the box. Alrighty. So there we go. Let's get a measurement on this bad boy. So I'm gonna measure to the shortest one here because that is what's gonna go around your neck. So we have 22 inches. 22 inches, so that's pretty good. Now if you wanted it to be shorter, you would just make your chains up top a little shorter. I think it's pretty dang good myself. And I like, what's going on here? Got a little something going on with the chain. So now, to give it a little razzle-dazzle in the chain, if you wanted to, you don't have to, but if you wanted to, oh, my phone's gonna die. You could cut and wire wrap in a few little beads, or you could wire wrap up a few little beads and put them on as charms and attach with either the wire or jump ring if you wanted to. I'm just gonna leave mine like this. I think it's pretty good. Hey guys, I did finish up the earrings. Sorry, my phone has been a little crazy town. But here they are. I just wire wrapped a couple little crystals, and then I made them longer by adding 3 beads has 3 jump rings, 2 beads has 2 jump rings, 1 bead has 1 jump ring. And then I made them kind of opposite, so when you have them on, the longer side is to the outside. But yeah. So I thought those were cool. They do hang off kilter just a smidge, but nobody's really gonna notice that, I don't think, when you're moving around and wearing them. So I did have a few beads left. I probably could do another project, but for the time being, we're just gonna call this the end project for March. For Bargain Bead Box, because I think that other one's probably going to be coming here shortly. I was a little bit behind on this one. But there we go. I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. If you are, please let me know. Please leave a like, comment. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That is very helpful for me. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.